What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so, the Simpsons star, Frank Azaria, apologized for offensive Apu voice. Decades after Apu was first introduced, the Simpsons star, Hank Azaria, has apologized for creating and voicing the character. Actor and comedian Hank Azaria, who voiced Apu on The Simpsons for decades, has apologized for his offensive interpretation of South Asians. Throughout its record-breaking run, the hit animated sitcom has produced an astounding number of beloved characters, but controversy has also followed the series since its first season. And though Azaria officially stopped voicing the character of Apu last January, it seems as though the Simpsons veteran is now truly beginning to understand Apu's impact. As the Wrap reports, Azaria is apologizing for his time spent as Apu, as well as for helping to create the character in the first place, admitting that part of him feels as though he should apologize to every single South Asian person in America, Azaria stated. I really do apologize. It's important. I apologize for my part in creating that and participating in that. Part of me feels like I need to go to every single Indian person in this country and personally apologize, and sometimes I do. First of all, I mean, if you want to let's just say it's offensive to someone other than a white upper class liberal. If you're really going to say that this was offensive to majority of people of Indian heritage, that watch this, that probably are fans of The Simpsons, and that, or, that this has had a lasting effect, or this has perpetuated stereotypes that have somehow hindered people in real life, which, again, this is a cartoon. You can say The Simpsons have had cultural impacts and whatever, but let's face it, it's still a cartoon. I know my wife would kill me for saying this, but it's actually now a really bland cartoon. It's not really that game changing in any form or fashion. I say that because my wife is a huge Simpsons fan, who's kind of got me a little bit burned out on the series. But look, Azaria he has voiced this character for almost 30 years. And the idea that now he is ashamed of voicing that, it didn't stop him for the last 30 years of getting paychecks off of doing this and not seeming to have any problem whatsoever. But now, because it's this woke thing to do, this SJW way of life now, that we've got to go in there and basically attack anybody for anything anymore. Now he's ashamed of it. So forgive me, Azaria, if I feel like you're full of crap, because while I think you should still be able to go and voice Apu, I don't care if you are what color your skin is. I don't know why in the 21st century we care about this stuff. This seems really 1950-ish. This seems like really regressive belief system, that you have to have white characters portraying white characters and black characters portraying black characters. That seems really stupid and outdated practice, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to cartoons. And come on. Take Bart Simpson, for instance. Bart Simpson is voiced by a female, adult female. That's in her 40s or 50s now? So, I mean, if you really want to talk about being offended, well, I guess every 10-year-old boy should maybe be offended that that character is voiced by a middle-aged woman. Like, I mean, this is stupid. It's really, I mean, it's really incredibly stupid. Um, and to be honest with you, and I kind of felt this way with the Redskins thing when it come to the Washington football team. Um, people that were the people that were most offended by that were not even the people that were of the race that should have been offended by it. It was mostly almost everybody that I heard that were offended by this um, were basically um, just rich white liberals because they feel like, well, this is their way of uh, basically virtue signaling, not to minorities of any kind, but to other white liberals. Let's just face it, put it that way. Um, I don't. Maybe I shouldn't say white liberal, white progressives, I guess you should say, because liberals are liberal when it comes to these things. It seems like this far left kind of way of thinking now has really I don't know. It reminds me of something that you would see in the 1950s. It's really regressive. It's really racist in a lot of different ways. The idea that we even care who voices a character in the 21st century is just shows how little we have grown as a society. If you want to talk about something that really shows our lack of growth, it's probably this in general. I mean, where you have people concerned about names of things, names of football teams, baseball teams, basketball teams, all of this kind of junk like that. And you have, take even the Deshaun Watson thing. Deshaun Watson, I mean, Houston Texans fan, huge Houston Texans fan. Deshaun Watson, from these allegations, should not even be considered for playing football. So we have these I mean, just because these allegations are severe, I have seen nothing on ESPN that really, I mean, they're kind of like, well, giving the benefit of the doubt and blah blah blah, all this other kind of stuff like that. What about the Me Too movement? What about all of that? What about believing all women? Well, that's true until it doesn't fit their narrative. When it doesn't fit their narrative, then they push it aside and they find something else to be offended about, or someone else to take up for or to demean. I mean, this is just becoming a cancer on society at this point. It doesn't help anybody. Whether Azaria voices Apu doesn't help any person of Indian heritage at all. Doesn't help or hurt them. Doesn't change stereotypes. It doesn't do any of those things. Apu isn't the reason for stereotypes. These stereotypes, I mean, those stereotypes were there before Apu even came into creation. So just the simple fact that this has gone to this level is really ridiculous, in my opinion. And the idea, and to me, it's even if I was someone who really cared about this issue, and I really felt like what Azaria had done for all these years was, just horribly despicable and should never be done before, which I don't. But if I did, I'd be pretty pissed at Azaria for now just kind of coming out and being like, well, I've done this for 30 years, but now that I'm getting some a little bit pushback on this, well, I'm going to go out there and say that I'm sorry for all of this. And I'm like, come on, guy, you've taken this paycheck for 30 years, and now you're trying to say that you're sorry. You had no problem with it for the last 30 years, but now that it's, important to think of these things, and it's good for your career to maybe be on this side, then now you speak out even against yourself. That's just, it's ridiculous. I hate these narratives that the media is constantly trying to portray, trying to separate people, trying to really create this instead of a post-racial environment, trying to make it where that races should, I don't know, to stir up problems that really should never be stirred up in the first place. This Apu thing shouldn't even be an issue. Like I was even saying about the Deshaun Watson thing, ESPN has, right before all the sexual allegations was come out, was pushing him as a hero. Now they don't really want to come out and say, well, he's a villain. And they don't even want to come out and say, well, we think he should never play football again. No, they're not going to do that because it doesn't fit their overall narrative over things. All these people are hypocrites. What I'm trying to get with the Deshaun Watson thing is they're hypocrites. Everybody that is offended by this probably is one too. I'm sorry, they just probably are. The Simpsons has done some really stupid things over the years. Family Guy has done some stupid things. American Dad has done some stupid things over the years. But at the end of the day, I mean, come on. If this is the straw that broke the camel's back on a lot of things, I'm like, we've just as a society lost our ever loving minds. That's my opinion on it. That's my take on it. You know what? This isn't the world that I want my kid to live in. This isn't the world I want my kids to live in at all. I want them to live in a post-racial society, not one that is so dang fixated on it. This should have been something, the kinks that we should have got out 50 years ago. And instead, all we have done these last 10 or so years is intensify it to now a level where no one's happy and no one's satisfied. Everyone's scared to say anything and everything. It's not a fun place for anybody. It's not a place that anybody feels secure. Whether you're male, female, gay, straight, black, white, doesn't matter anymore. In this modern America, everybody is trying to either play the victim card or something along those lines. And it's just ridiculous in my eyes in a lot of ways. Now again, look, if you truly get offended by this, I'm truly sorry. I really am. My opinion is if you don't like something, don't watch it. Simple as that. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. There's a lot of things that I see on television that I'm like, oh man, you know what? I felt like they kind of went a little too far with that. I don't know if I'm going to get into this show or like this show. I changed the channel. I don't try to boycott stuff. I don't say to boycott. I'll never be for boycotting. I will never be for, changing voice actors because they don't match the person that is the cartoon character and the voice actor are not the exact same color of skin or the same race or the same ethnicity or sexual orientation or any of that kind of stuff. I would never be for any of that. That's nonsense. That's garbage news, basically. The idea that Screen Rant is even going out there and making a big deal about this and even making Azaria have to apologize for it is ridiculous. It's even more ridiculous that now Azaria apologizes. And you know what? Now I say, you know what? It's fair game to attack him simply not because he voiced Apu for all these years, but because he took the check for 30 years. And now because it's politically savvy for him to say that he's against it, then all of a sudden he turns down the paycheck. I'm like, feels like a hollow apology. And I think all sides can actually, if there's one thing we can all agree on, that's a pretty hollow apology. That's my opinion, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all think this is just a really blown up controversy. Let me know if you're really truly offended by Azaria playing Apu or voicing Apu for all those years, or a white man voicing Cleveland, all Family Guy. I mean, me personally, I feel like America has a lot bigger issues than that. I don't feel like that moves the scale in any direction when it comes to race relations at all. In fact, I would say if it does anything, it pushes it backwards. Like, we shouldn't be so focused on race and should just be focused in this post racial environment. But unfortunately, that's not what a lot of people are wanting to do in 2021. In fact, they want to go back, I guess, to, you know, um, basically an era where people didn't want to mix and mingle with each other, and that's really sad. We shouldn't be a left right country. We shouldn't be a gay straight country. We shouldn't be a black white country. When it comes to that, we should just all be people that are just trying to live the best life that they can and should be able to enjoy it as we see fit, and not have to worry about being denigrated or um, exiled or anything for our beliefs in any form or fashion. Our beliefs, our looks, our gender, our sexual orientation, or any of that. It should just be that we should just be able to live life as people. People. I mean, instead of focusing on the color of our skin. Seems outdated to me. I guess this is a part of the regressive left thing now. I don't personally aspire to this. I think it's incredibly ridiculous. I feel like this wokeness is just censorship, and they're trying to make it where it's individuals that are doing this, but really all it is just giant corporations finding ways to be able to shut individuals up in a lot of different ways, to control people, to get people angry at each other, whether they can't be angry at them. Simple as that. It's the way I look at it, plain and simple. But let me know what y'all think down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching.